Is today the day? Is today the hour, guys? Welcome to Glasgow Rangers FC Match Day update, guys. We are here on Match Day. It is time for Rangers to lay down that marker. Even more important today, some would say, after the events of yesterday. We will talk about that on this video. Well, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm nervous. I am nervous. Do you know why I'm nervous? I think I've been scarred by the events of the past. I know this is a new Rangers. I know this is a different Rangers. I know this is a Rangers with a new mentality, with a new attitude, with a new verve, a new integrity, a new belief in themselves, thanks to our manager, Philippe Clement. But you still have got that horrible, nagging remembrance of the past, haven't you? Of times when that lot across the city have given us the opportunity to get back and to take over, and we've kind of blown it. And we need to make sure that doesn't happen today against St Johnstone. It will be a difficult game, and a game in a fixture that we don't always historically win very easily. We're going to look over the last 5 fixtures. We're going to look over our overall record against them. We're going to look at obviously how St Johnstone have done, look at the league, look at prospective teams for today, prospective tactics, how today may play out. Well, as always, guys, this is Glasgow Rangers Nation, so it's a free channel, guys. We don't charge you for any of the content. As we always say, no Patreon, no paywall here. So please hit that sub, ring that notification bell like the other 5,000 others. Well, let's start off by thinking about what happened yesterday. What a phenomenal day it was. And by all accounts, they were lucky to get a draw, a 1-1 draw with Kilmarnock at Parkhead, at the Piggery, at Sharkhead, at the Gyro Dome, whatever you want to call it. It was still a draw. Do you know what? They could have won it at the end. Kilmarnock really genuinely could have won it at the end. You know, one thing that does slightly concern me, guys, and this is one for the future. I know that Philippe Clement says take every game at one game at a time. I know he says it's week to week, it's day to day, etc., etc. But one game that does slightly worry me is the fact that we have to go to Rugby Park to play Kilmarnock. Look, I know that seems weird to say, us being Rangers, then being Kilmarnock, but Derek McInnes has done an absolutely fantastic job with Kilmarnock, getting them organised, getting them sorted, playing some decent football, putting teams under pressure. They're a decent side. And look, that pitch at Rugby Park is not great. We lost there earlier in the season. It's not a great place to go, is it? So, look, at the end of the day, it's not going to be easy. And that is the one game that kind of really does concern me over the coming weeks. It is obviously the end of February, and it is really going to be a must-win given what happened yesterday. Now, all those events left the league title looking like this. Celtic are only 1 point clear of us with exactly the same goal difference. So the goal difference is the same now. The points are the same. Everything is the same. Hearts are 10 points behind us, having played a game more. Kilmarnock up into 4th. Barring a collapse, that's probably where they're going to finish. St Mirren in 5th, Dundee in 6th, Hibs in 7th, Aberdeen down in 8th. 9th Motherwell, 10th St Johnstone, who we play today, and 11th Ross County, and 12th is obviously a lowly bottom Livingston. So look, before we move on to obviously the St Johnstone game today, I apologise. Today, it's all to play for. A win would take us top clear by 2 points, top of the league by 2 points. Wouldn't that be fantastic, guys? Going into work Monday morning, 2 points clear of them with a better goal difference than them. Wouldn't it be nice to just, tell your Celtic supporting colleagues and, have a little word in their shell, like have a little chat with them about, the league table and where they are, listening to the media, listening to Clyde One today and talking to Lorah earlier. It is a case that, again, the meltdown has begun. The Timplosion has begun, and don't we love it? Don't we love to see them in meltdown? But let's focus on us. Let's focus on what we need to do. Let's focus on our opponents. Let's focus on being Rangers. Let's focus on who Rangers are. And we know this team this year has been vastly improved by one factor and one factor alone. That is the work that Philippe Clement has done with them. He's turned them into a team. He's turned them into a unit. He's turned them into a machine. He's turned them into a group with a new mentality, a group that will run through walls, a group that will fight for each other, a group that will work for each other. And some of those players that were vastly underperforming at the start of the season, the Cyril Dessers, the John Lundströms of this world, have perceivably been turned round by Philippe Clement and what he has done. Now, if you hang on, guys, I am going to go over my team suggestion for today against St Johnstone shortly in the video. But let's look at a few facts and stats to do with Rangers versus St Johnstone. So the overall record of Rangers versus St Johnstone, there's been 42 games between us and St Johnstone. We have won 29. They have won 5. There's been 8 draws, and there has obviously then Rangers have lost 5 times. The Rangers record is 129, drawn 8, lost 5. We've outscored them by 83 goals to 31. We average 1.98 goals per game. They average 0.74 goals per game. So that's a pretty decent record. We concede under a goal a game against them, and we score nearly 2 goals per game against them. So it's a pretty decent record we've got going into today's game. Now, obviously, the slight concern there is obviously those 8 draws and 5 losses. We certainly do not want to add to those numbers. But, I've done a bit of research. And I looked back across our last 5 away games against them in the league and cup. And it's never ever been a game where we've blown them out, where we've smashed them, where we've taken them to pieces. It's always been a close, tightly fought game. These are the last 5 fixtures between Rangers and St Johnstone. So, on the 19th of September 2023, this season, obviously, we beat them 2-0. Then in the Scottish Cup on the 21st of January 2023, we beat them 1-0. In the league, on the 6th of November 2022, we actually lost to St Johnstone 2-1. So we've actually lost. The last time we lost is less than 2 years ago. So it's not a fixture that, we've got a complete brilliant record in the last 5 fixtures. It's not a clean sweep by Rangers, but that defeat does stand out like a bit of a sore thumb there. On the 2nd of March 2022, we beat them 1-0, and prior to that, we played them on the 11th of September 2021 and beat them 2-1. So as you can see, we never really score more than 2 goals. It's always a close game. Never any more than 2 goals in it. Over those last 5 fixtures, it's been a long time since we really did put them to the sword. I can remember us beating them, I think it was 7 or 8-0. I think it was 7-0 back in 98, 99, I think it was. That was the last time we really smashed them and took them apart. Look, now, this Rangers team that we are looking at today is a team that, are capable, I think, given the way we played against Ross County during the week on Wednesday night. We're capable of giving someone a really good hiding. The one thing that still concerns me, though, is the inability to take chances, the lack of a clinical finisher, the lack of someone to consistently put the ball in the back of the net. Now, I know that is a team-wide job, the midfield and the attack, not just for one central striker. Obviously, Wednesday night we had 43 shots on goal. 23 of those were on target and converted only 3. So I think that is a stat that we need to get up. And I think, there's a lot of people talking that at some point this is going to click. At some point, hopefully this is going to click. And at some point, we're hopefully going to give someone a damn good hiding. Now, obviously, going away from home is never the same as playing at Ibrox. Yes, we'll have a phenomenal away following. Our away fans are absolutely legendary, absolute superstars. And no doubt they will sing us to victory. Today. They will be brilliant. Now, let's have a look at St Johnstone's recent games. And this is how St Johnstone have performed very recently. So last time out, they played away. They were lost a 2-1 to Dundee. Last home game, they lost 1-0 to Hearts. And one thing you'll notice about all these results that I've got up here, these are their last 8 games. They're all very tight games. They beat Ross County away 1-0. They drew 1-1 with Motherwell. Prior to that, they drew 1-1 with Aberdeen. Obviously, a different Aberdeen to Neil Warnock's Aberdeen. They lost 1-0 to Adrianians in the Cup, which is a pretty disastrous defeat. Drew 0-0 with Livy and lost 2-1 to Kilmarnock. So their results are very, very mixed indeed. Their form is very poor going into this game. As you can see from those fixtures and from that set of results, they've only won 1 game out of their last 8. Obviously, drawing some, majority of them being defeats. So they're not in the best of form. It is a game that we really do need to be winning. A game that we cannot afford to have any further mistakes in. A game that today we can really lay down a marker. We can move to the top of the league and take over and be top of the league by 2 points at the end of Sunday, which would be just absolutely fantastic. For me, again, I think Philippe Clement will make the odd change or two to the starting 11. I do think, though, that, certainly in terms of the back four, you need to perhaps not change it as much. Jack Butland obviously will be in goal. I know that he'll rotate strikers, but this is my team that I selected for today's game. Just cast your eye over that team. So Jack Butland in goal. I think obviously that's a standard. Back four, I'm going to go with James Tavernier. I'm doing John Suter and Leon Balogun if fit, and Rid van Yilmaz. Again, I thought Wednesday night Connor Goldston was exceptionally poor. I think he was largely to blame for the goal, his inability to shut down that cross. And for me, Connor needs a bit of a rocket. He needs a bit of a reminder that he's not untouchable, that he's not undroppable, that he isn't, beyond been put onto the bench. So that would be my starting back four, with Rid van Yilmaz obviously playing at left back. I don't want to see Borna tomorrow, especially with, I think, the fact that we need to get at them. We need to go after them. We need to really attack them. And Ridvan is much better going forward than Borna. And I think also the fact that I'm playing Cortez, and I'll talk a bit about that shortly, the way that Cortez and Ridvan linked in that Ross County game when Ridvan came on, I thought when Cortez came on, my apologies, I thought was absolutely excellent. So that's how I'm going. I'm going to go with Diamande and Lundstrom, only because I don't think he'll play Lawrence 2 games in a row. He seems to be being very careful with Lawrence and Jack. There's a chance he could play Jack there tomorrow, but today. But I do think that, that he won't risk Lawrence again, as well as Lawrence did play. I thought Lawrence was excellent on Wednesday night. I really did. But, given what he's doing with Ryan Jack and Tom Lawrence at the moment, the fact that, he's spelling them, he's resting them, he's not letting them play 2-3 games in a week. I know we don't have a game midweek this week, but I do think he will make a change. And I would like to see Mohamed Diamande given the start. Now, the three behind the striker, I'm going to go with Ross McCausland, Todd Cantwell, and Oscar Cortez. I thought Cortez was excellent when he came on Wednesday night. He really ran at defenders. He caused them all sorts of problems. He was lively. He was unlucky not to score. For me, Cortez has to start. Then I think, having Cortez and McCausland out wide will be absolutely central to a team that are going to probably low block, that are going to frustrate, they're going to waste time, they're going to try and break the game as much as possible. So as many different options as we've got, I think is going to be really important there. I think as well, Cantwell, Diamande and Fabio Silva will form a very useful triumvirate there in the middle to really sort of work the middle of the field over, whereas McCausland and Cortez can work the width. It's all about moving players out of position. It's about spreading the back four. It's about challenging the back four. It's about trying to break down the low block by moving players to create channels, to create gaps, to create spaces to work in. And I think that Todd Cantwell will do that in and around the box, as he started to do very well. I think Fabio Silva's movement will be central to that. His movement is 10 times better than anything Cyril Dessers does. I think that Silva will be much better up there, working the back four over, creating a bit of space, giving McCausland, Cortez, Diamande, Cantwell space to work in. And the fact that Diamande is a box-to-box midfielder as well, who can pick a pass, who can have a shot, is going to be really, I think, vital in today's game. It's about varying the points of attack. It's about changing the points of attack. It's about playing quickly. And again, I think with that team, with Lunny, Diamande, with Cortez, with Cantwell, McCausland, Silva, they'll just play a whole lot quicker than you would if you perhaps put Jack and Lundstrom in there. If you were to perhaps put Matondo out wide and Dessers up top, I just think that squad offers you so much more. Now, I think what we've all learned, though, is none of us can predict what lineup Philippe Clement will use. The guy, obviously rotates, which he rotates, I think, to get a team that is best suited for the team that he is playing on that day. So look, today's game is going to be a big game today. It's been made even bigger by the result yesterday. A chance for us to go top, a chance for us to take over, a chance for us to really sort of never look back, go 2 points clear, and then keep on building on that lead. Well, prediction for today, I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory to Rangers. A nervy game, guys. I really do. I think 1-0. I'm going to go for Todd Cantwell special to give us the win today. Proper away performance, just like we had at St Mirren. 1-0. That will do. Takes us top. Takes us a goal clear. I think that's going to be spot on. I hope for more. Obviously, I hope for more. I hope we go and tank them. I really do. I do. Well, guys, come and join me on the live stream, obviously, and the breaking news video for the team news today. And please, obviously, sub to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. And as always, guys, on the way out, 2 jobs. Number 1, smash the like. And number 2, remember always, we are the people.